Did you know that China controls over 90% of the world's rare earth magnet processing? And now, with Beijing tightening export control, the global auto industry, especially electric vehicles or EV makers, is feeling the heat. Today's episode, we unpack the rising tension around rare earth magnet supply chains and what China's latest move means for global manufacturing. From EV production slowdown to urgent shift in sourcing strategies, this is a disruption that could redefine the future of mobility. Whether you are an industry insider or just curious about what powers your car, this is a conversation you won't want to miss. China controls more than 90% of global rare earth magnet processing essential for electric motors in EVs and many automotive components. Since April 2025, China implemented new export controls requiring export licenses for 7 rare earth elements and finished magnet. The new policy demands detailed end-use disclosures and customer declaration, with clearance delays now stretching beyond 45 days. This clampdown is widely seen as a part of broader geopolitical tensions, particularly between China and the US, with China leveraging rare earth as a bargaining chip to retaliate against the Trump taxes. This retaliation has left automobile companies across the globe scrambling to solve an impending crisis. Rare earth magnets are critical for permanent magnet synchronous motors, prized for their high torque and energy efficiency. Over a dozen new EV models scheduled for launch could face delays or production rescheduling if the shortages persist. Hybrids and even internal combustion engine or ICE vehicles rely on this magnet for electric power steering and other systems, meaning the impact could extend beyond EVs. Indian automakers like Maruti Suzuki have already recalibrated production plans for models like their e-Vitara due to magnet shortages. And globally, German, Japanese and US manufacturers face similar disruption in their manufacturing, and most of the automakers are currently holding 4 to 6 weeks of magnet inventory, but prolonged delays risk emptying stocks and halting production lines. Companies have become so desperate that OEM suppliers have claimed automobile companies are willing to pay any price for this crucial component for their manufacturing. India imports over 80% of its rare earth magnets from China and had seen 0 shipments cleared since the new export rule, despite nearly 30 import requests which is endorsed in India and has been submitted to China. In China's Jiangxi province, especially companies like JL supply high-performance magnet to global EV leaders like Tesla, BYD, underscoring China's strategic control. Despite rare earth magnets costing less than 5% of vehicles' total cost, their absence can cripple entire production lines. If export restrictions and licensing delays persist beyond a month, expect widespread production slowdown, postponed EV launches and ripple effects across two-wheeler and passenger vehicle segments, especially in India and other import-dependent markets. The rare earth supply chain will remain a flashpoint in US-China trade relations, with ongoing uncertainty around export policies and licensing. Automakers are urgently exploring alternate suppliers in countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, Japan, Australia and the US. But ramping up production outside China will take time. The COVID-19 slowdown exposed the over-reliance on China, followed by the semiconductor shortage, and now the rare earth magnets crunch makes yet another wake-up call for the world to urgently diversify its sourcing strategies. Now let me talk on 5 important areas businesses should work on. Number 1, diversify supply chain. Reduce reliance on China by developing rare earth processing and magnet manufacturing capabilities in other geographies. Strategic partnerships and investment in countries like Australia, Vietnam, and the US are critical. Number 2, stockpile critical components. Maintain higher inventory buffers for rare earth magnet to mitigate short-term disruption. Number 3, material innovation. It's also important to invest in R&D to develop alternate motor technologies that reduces or eliminate dependencies on rare earth magnet. For example, switched reluctance motors or induction motors can be alternatives in some applications. Number 4, vertical integration. Automakers and suppliers can consider acquiring or partnering with rare earth mining and processing companies to secure upstream supply. And number 5, government engagement. Governments will also need to play a key role in facilitating this shift. There is a need to lobby or expedited import approval, trade negotiation to ease export restrictions and supply for domestic rare earth industries. India's government is already working on this front. China's rare earth magnet export clampdown is a wake-up call for the global automotive industry. It exposes the fragility of concentrated supply chain and highlights the urgent need for strategic diversification and innovation. The road ahead will be challenging, but with the proactive measures, the industry can navigate this crisis and build a more resilient future. What do you think about China's rare earth export control? How would automakers and governments respond to secure supply chain? Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments. If you found today's episode of Logistically Speaking insightful, please like, share it with your network and subscribe for more logistics, supply chain and economic insights. Thank you and see you next time.